Hey everyone, Sean from Buckeye Wedding Expo here. Today we're going to sit down and talk to Carolyn and Jamie from Hollon Flowers on tips for floral at your wedding. Carolyn and Jamie, how are you?
Good. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for taking time to tell us a little bit more about your company and share some tips with us on floral for the wedding. First, I'd like to start just by giving you an opportunity to tell me more about Hollon Flowers. Tell me more about you, about your company, about your service. Tell us more.
Well, Hollon Flowers has been in business. We're celebrating 36 years in March. Carolyn, right here, she is the owner. She's been doing this for 36 years. We're a small business in Fairborn, and we are a full-fledged florist. So we do everything, but one of our loves is definitely weddings. We love to go out and do weddings and just get to be part of your day special.
So when it comes to florists, are there different kinds of florists? Is there does it work with like the same way as like photography? Are there like styles, or are you able to do any style, or how does that work?
Yeah, there actually is. So there are some florists that strictly do just weddings, and there are florists that strictly do like just day-to-day stuff. So, and every florist has their own style and flair. Um, but when you, but like I said, we're a full-fledged florist, so we kind of do it all shapes and sizes, all styles. We basically adjust our style to what the customer, the bride, if we have a funeral coming in, anything like that, we just base everything off of what they want, and we're pretty good at adjusting to what. So we're kind of I don't want to say all over the place, but
And what I've learned over the years is, I can have a style, but it needs to be the bride style. And I have learned to create a bunch of different styles because I've been doing this for a long time. And I try to make my flowers look like what you want for your wedding. So if you bring me in an inspo picture or something like that, then I can look at that and I can achieve that look. So, I mean, I can do, rounds, cascades. I've been doing cascades for years. I can, do the modern oblongs. I can do the stylized ones. It's just every wedding that goes out of here is different. They're no two alike.
So when it comes to taking vision and making it a reality, do you prefer that people give you like an inspiration board or a Pinterest board, or
Yeah, I like to look at what you're thinking, what the bride wants, because I'm not gonna be like that beauty shop that everybody walks out with the same hairdo. Everything's gonna be different, and it's gonna be like that. My favorite thing to do is to have a picture of the bridal dress, and then as I'm making the bouquet, I actually look at her inspo pictures and I look at her dress, and I kind of channel that look so that everything looks together. So I always like to. I've got the photos up, I've got the dress, and then I'm making the bouquet.
okay, so it's kind of like the best of both worlds, where you can get the vision, but you also have your expertise and years in the industry and knowledge with flowers and creativity. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Is that what I'm understanding?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when it comes to wanting something, flowers, like, are they all available all the time, or are they in season, or how does that work? Or when you order flowers?
There are flowers that are not in season at certain times of year, and I know which ones those are. And if you come in and tell me this is a flower you're looking for and it's not in season, then I will come up with some suggestions for you. Now, that's not to say I have gotten peonies in September before, but they come from South America and they're super, super, super pricey. If you want that, then I'll do that for you. But I'm going to guide you into what's available in your season. Another tip is shop in your season. So like if your wedding's in October, come the previous October and shop for your flowers, because then you can see actually what's in season at that time of year.
Interesting. I never thought about that. So when you're planning, the things that you want may not be in season, like to be able to see, touch, feel but
Right.
you want to, if you do it a year in advance, then you can kind of see that ahead of time.
Right.
Also gives you more time to plan, right? Now, when
Right.
we were talking offline, there are some things that you would that you really can't decide until you decide other things, right? So you had recommended like the venue and things, like to come to you and talk to you and things, but not make any total decisions until after the things are chosen. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. Because sometimes, like, you could have your heart set on, what your flowers are and what your colors are. As little girls, we all plan our weddings from the time we can start thinking about them. But then as you're looking through venues, especially now, sometimes they book up so fast, or sometimes the venue you had in mind is not available. So then you book this other venue and you're like, oh, wow, those flowers or those colors or that vibe doesn't work with this venue. So I always try to encourage brides to don't forget about us. We are going to talk flowers, but before you make your final decision on it, get your venue first so you can get that vibe and those color schemes and see what works best for the venue that you're in. So it all complements each other.
But you do have a process though, to where when people meet you year, 2 years in advance and they click, you do have a process to kind of hold them and, have you as the florist without the decisions, right?
Right. Right. You're welcome. If you meet us and you like us and you want to use us, you can book with us and we'll talk with you about your flowers when you're ready. I mean, if you just want to make sure that we're secured for the date, we can book and then you come back in. And I've met with brides, 2, 3, or 4 times before the wedding as we're narrowing in what they want. But the most important thing is to get you on the calendar so that we don't have multiple weddings on that date.
3 a.m. Pinterest phone calls. What about this?
I've had those.
So understanding that you have things that you want things on your calendar. When it comes to floral, is there venues? I think treat floral differently. Like if you pick up, if you drop off, if you do a room flip, how does that work with you guys as far as the services that are available and how it works in with the venues and the venue, the way the venue works?
We do have charges for that. If it's a pickup, there's no charge. But there's a charge for delivery, for basic delivery drop off. There's a charge for room flip if you want to use that. And then you have the final charge if you want us to come back and retrieve and pick everything up at the end of the night. Those are all different charges that we can discuss.
Okay. So you could, when you said full service, you really mean full service. You can be there for the room flip and, help with the table. Cause the floral a lot of times is involved in the tablescape, right? Or the way the table is designed.
Correct.
Yeah.
And when you talk about floral and centerpieces, how does that blend in? Like, do I need to give you a vase and you put the flowers in it, or do you work with? How does that operate?
Well, so we actually have a borrow a vase program where we have some containers that are available, different sizes and shapes. And if you purchase the flowers from us, we will let you borrow our vases, but those do have to come back after the wedding, whether you bring them back or we retrieve them at the end of the night based on your service.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I didn't know that was even a thing. That's a great service.
But if you have your heart set on your own, vases and stuff like that, we just have you bring them in and we'll work with them and we'll design in them. So, but a lot of people don't know what to do with that many vases afterwards. So that's why we allow for them to use what we have.
Yeah. They try to sell them on Marketplace and fail most of the time.
That is true.
All right. Well, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I would like, if it's okay, just share some quick tips with everyone about floral at their wedding.
All right. So the first thing we like to remind you guys is to find your venue before you fully decide on your flowers, because the venue vibes could really change flower-wise. If you have your heart set on flowers that necessarily are not in season, we can get them. However, we have a lot of different options to give you that same look and feel that's in the season that you're in. So maybe shop a season before your wedding, like around the same time, so you can see what's available. And definitely book early with the florist. If you fall in love with one, book them. Even if you're not ready to talk flowers, then you can come back and talk flowers later as you get closer and you settle things down.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for taking time to tell us more about your company and about who you are and about these tips. They are fantastic tips, and I have learned a lot. So I appreciate it. I know everyone else appreciates it, and we will see you on the 21st and 22nd at the Buckeye Wedding Expo.
Sounds great.